Communication window open. Uplink established. Yes. Haha. This is Dave from Earth Prime calling Star Labs, Central City, Earth 1. Once again, Dave from Earth Prime contacting Star Labs, Central City, Earth 1. Are you receiving this? Oh, how would I know? It's only a one-way transmission. Sorry. It's not like we're Skyping. Anyway, my last message sent was for Cisco Ramon. This current message is sent for Dr. Caitlin Snow. I know that you guys are grouped together and you like to participate, but right now that's up to Caitlin to decide if she wants to tell you the things that I reveal in this separately. So please consider this doctor-patient confidentiality, and this is for her eyes only. If you have any modicum of respect for her, please stop watching now and allow her to watch this alone. Hey Caitlin, Dave here. I'm sure Cisco must have talked to you a little bit about the fact that I'd sent a message and was trying to reach all of you. I'm an emotional hypersensitive with synesthesia, so I'm able to pick up on certain things, certain cues that people don't always read. And I gotta tell you, gal, you have moments where you're hard to read. However, from my vantage point, I've also seen certain scenarios that have played out or are most likely to play out in your world. Because of this, I felt it necessary to try to reach out to you. Now, first off, congratulations on your nuptials to Ronnie, and my condolences for what seems to have happened to him. But my expertise is trying to help people. I'm worried about you on some pretty deep levels. I know that you feel responsible for Ronnie getting what happened to him. Look, I've actually got a theory about what may have happened to him. I'm trying to confab with other people to try to work things out. So don't worry, there might still be hope. But we're working on that right now. But there are 3 big things I want to try to cover with you. The most important is your emotional state. Now, I know that it's hard to talk to somebody about things like this unless you're actually knowledgeable about metahumans or experiencing these secrets. I get that. But I'm worried about you in a few different ways. Now, you can be clinically detached, and that is very good when it comes to your work. I believe you yourself have described yourself at being cold at times, and that's okay. Certain people do bring more life out of you, more happiness, and that's all right too. From my perspective, I wrote a book. You're probably not going to find it on your world. I talk about finding out my senses are connected to my emotions, but the parts that I feel are physical and therefore 2 different things from my emotions. I discovered something that everyone goes through a certain phase. I call them the seasons of the soul. These are pleasure, pain, numbness, and equilibrium. Now, they're pretty self-explanatory. Pleasure, of course, you're experiencing things you like. Pain is your nerves telling you that something is wrong, something's been injured, and you need to fix it. Numbness is when you are overwhelmed or those parts are numb and you can't feel anything. And equilibrium is when you've taken everything you've gotten, you've healed, you've gotten stronger, and now you've assimilated all that into your new normal. Yeah, as it were. The reason I'm stressing this is one of the big things I want to tell you. Part 1 is I've gone through depression a lot on and off through my life. And I know that there are times I don't always feel things as intensely or as brightly as I used to, but I know that the emotions are still there, even if I myself feel numb to it. And that's okay. Eventually, it's like a muscle or anything else. Think of it like this. If you accidentally look at a bright light or a camera flash, for a moment all you see is a afterimage or a blob of that light, and then you can't see for a bit. You get nothing, and then eventually you need time for your eyes to rest so you can recover, so you can see things again. Just because you can't see things temporarily doesn't necessarily mean that they don't exist. If you get deafened by a loud noise, you get a ringing in your ears, then you can't hear much at all until your hearing comes back. The same thing can go for how you feel. I'm worried about you. You can be overwhelmed at times and shut down. It happens. I want you to know that even if you don't always feel that, this is very important. You may interact with other people. You may be distant or detached or cold, but it takes the love, the light, the warmth from others to kind of get you to warm up to it again. Just because they may not be there temporarily doesn't mean that you can't feel them. It doesn't mean that you're not capable of feeling something. You just have to give yourself time to pick it up again, and you will be able to get it. It's okay. It's natural. And that's all I can really go into. You tend to pick up on and resonate with those around you. You absorb it. You become a channel for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means you got to surround yourself with some very good people, and you certainly have. All right. It brings me to part 2. Now, Eobard Thawne has done a lot to damage not only you, but also to affect the very time stream in your Earth. And because he had a perspective of knowledge of things to come, he used it to manipulate people. Think of me as just another voice trying to help put right what he made wrong. Now, he has future knowledge of things and is able to try to use that to manipulate things, to head them off at the pass. Part of that knowledge is something that I'm telling you this so you can help metahumans. The ones that have been catalyzed, as I prefer to say it, or activated, and the ones that haven't yet. Dr. Caitlin Snow, I submit to you my knowledge on the metagene. Now, we've gotten reports about this kind of thing here for some time. Basically what it is the metagene is something that the particle accelerator wave did activate in people. It went it from a dormant gene to something that switched on. Or maybe it's something that people actually evolved into. I'm not entirely sure about where it exactly came from, but when the particle accelerator exploded, the wave generated did turn a lot on. It did happen in Central City, but others started to spread throughout the Earth. Now, the way the metagene works is essentially it's now in the on position, but it hasn't catalyzed. See, what it does is it takes something that is life-threatening to a person, and be it energy, radiation, chemical, what have you, and it takes it, using it to transform the cells as a catalyst for genetic change. It then takes the source of it and transforms it into something that is empowered by it. You know, the mind and emotions also tend to have a role in it, of course, but well, that's kind of iffy, but sometimes the power, but it had the way people's actions are representative of what their decisions are, their thoughts could also come from it. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is that to help you with your research, I know you've taken samples of catalyzed metahumans, but you need to also explore options for those that have the metagene. It's active in their system and ready to be used, but haven't catalyzed on some life-threatening energy or chemical source yet. And the reason I'm telling you this is, Dr. Caitlin Snow, you have a metagene that has yet to catalyze. Hold on, don't freak out. Yeah, Thawne knew this. But I'm telling you this because by telling you how it works, you're the one with the power. I'm not going to tell you the way things that I've seen play out before or things like that. I'm about personal empowerment. The knowledge you have and realizing you have a choice in the matter gives you all the power. The choice is yours. The power is yours. Just trust me on this. Don't get bitten by any radioactive honey badger. Just trust me. But the reason I'm telling you this is that you can help in researching this to help get ahead of this. And, well, having someone that Wells brought in that he knows may one day become a metahuman, it means that he knew that something was already there, already present, and was most likely to happen. He was just trying to play it out. I'm not trying to play you, Caitlin. I'm trying to help give you enough information to give you a choice. I don't want you to feel trapped by destiny or anything like that. Goodness knows you guys have been manipulated enough in that regard. Which brings me to the third option that I wanted to talk about here today. The third big thing. Caitlin, you are discovering that you are in an ever-expanding universe of possibilities and potential. I know you lost Ronnie once. I know it was crushing and devastating. But Professor Stein has a connection with Ronnie. That can be used to try to locate him. But here's the thing. I don't think he's necessarily gone. If he went through a portal, he could be somewhere else. He could also be trying to communicate in a way that you guys aren't able to understand yet. All I'm saying is, it's okay to have hope. And if you're too hurt to try right now, that's okay too. Think of it as a physical burden you can put down for now until actual proof has come around. That's your prerogative. You can do that. But also know that you're capable of picking it back up again too. Remember the analogy about the blinding light. Just because you're temporarily blinded doesn't mean there aren't beautiful things to see. Just because you're temporarily deafened doesn't mean that there aren't music to hear. And just because you may be overloaded and you can't feel anything but the pain, doesn't mean that good things aren't there to feel when you're ready. Just give it time. And please remember that. No matter what else happens, you're the one with this knowledge, you're the one with the power, you're the one in control of it. Okay? Good. That's about it for now. I just gotta say, I watched you guys a bit, and I kind of wish I could just go into your world and help out more. And I would love to go to karaoke with you. Seriously. I mean, Barry can sing. I hear Cisco does a good rendition of Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. And, I think it'd be awesome. And as far as for keeping good people around you, it's okay. And it's also okay to acknowledge occasional physical attraction. We know that you're very faithful. We know you're loyal. We know that it's not going to cross any lines. So if you happen to say, for example, enjoy looking at Jay Garrick or Barry Allen's butts, it's okay. Just feel comfortable in admitting you like flashbacks. Yes, I went there. Anyway, looks like the window's closing. I've got to get out of here, but please keep in mind what I said. I'll send another transmission when I can. Caitlin, please take care of yourself. Thanks.